Thank you. A very good morning to all of you. On behalf of the Serve and Inspire group, I take this opportunity in welcoming each and every one for their august presence. Before we start, I kindly request all of you to put off your mobiles, the silent mode. And thank you for your cooperation. We begin today's program with the inauguration of the workshop by lighting the lamp by our esteemed chief guest, His Excellency, the Indian Ambassador, Mr. C.M. Bhandari. I request our chairman, Dr. Kolichalam, to guide him on the stage, please. As a token of remembrance, I request Dr. Kolichalam to present a small bouquet to our ambassador, please. Thank you, sir. Right, as educators, we are grateful for students. And now we have a very interesting program by the EHV students presenting the Human Values Song. This little guiding light of mine. And followed by it, we have a pass it on. So let's listen, which is going to encourage the workshop, and I hope it will be energetic to sit throughout the workshop. Thank you.
had a kindness shown, pass it on. Pass it on. Was it given for you alone? Pass it on. Pass it on. Let it travel down the years. Let it dry another's tears. Let it calm another's fears. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Have you had a mother's love? Pass it on. Pass it on. Have you had a father's trust? Pass it on. Pass it on. You can love and trust another as you love and trust your mother. We can love and trust each other. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Have you had a kindness shown? Pass it on. Pass it on. Was it given for you alone? Pass it on. Pass it on. Let it travel down the years. Let it dry another's tears. Let it calm another's fears. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Have you had a mother's love? Pass it on. Pass it on. Have you had a father's trust? Pass it on. Pass it on. You can love and trust another as you love and trust your mother. We can love and trust each other. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Have you had a kindness shown? Pass it on. Pass it on. Was it given for you alone? Pass it on. Pass it on. Let it travel down the years. Let it dry another's tears. Let it calm another's fears. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on.
It is indeed very good, and I'm sure we're going to pass on this message to everyone. Our chairperson, Dr. Kuli Chelam, to give the introduction address. Please, sir.
Indian Ambassador, Mr. Bandari, Professor Macpherson, Chancellor, Abu Dhabi University, Professor Sadgatian, Deputy Director, Mafraq Hospital, Mr. Yusuf Ansari, Vice Chairman, Abu Dhabi Shipping Building, Principals, Teachers Fraternity, Parents, and my dear EHV students. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all for this second workshop on education in human values. We had the first workshop in Indian Embassy Auditorium on June 2nd. This is the product of the first workshop. And we continue to have workshops every 4 months on this subject of immense value. Today we are concerned with education on human values. Our past president, father of the nation, statesman, great visionary, said, educating and cultivating people is in itself a great asset in which we take pride, for education is a true wealth. I offer my gratitude for his generosity and magnanimity leading this country on prosperous, peaceful, and loving model nation in the world. The present president, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, is leading the country in the same lines. We are extremely indebted and grateful for the encouragement and the permission given by His Excellency Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak Al Nahyan to hold this conference in this wonderful auditorium. Because of his commitments, he is not able to attend today, but he sent his good wishes for the successful conduct of this workshop. Human values is a subject of immense value and great importance, not only for the educators, even for everybody who is there conducting his daily living. We will understand more in detail when you take this scenario on the world stage. 10,000 years ago, the world population was only 5 million. When the Christian era started, the world population was 130 million. At 1850, the population has become 1 billion. And within 80 years, the population is doubled. In 1930, it was 2 billion. And over 57 years from then on, in 1987, we reached 5 billion. And we are heading for 10 billion. Celebrated scientists like Stephen Hawking say that in another 15 years, we have to start colonies in the space. In another 30 years, we have to start settlements in the planet Mars. With this huge population, which is growing up continuously, the natural resources are quickly going to be used up. And there is a deteriorating environment with pollution of air, land, and oceans. The climatic changes, the global warming, the greenhouse effect, and the temperature rise and seas are rising is going to affect the lives of the people. And people will have lack of peace and becomes victims of stress syndrome. They'll have all sort of anxiety, all kinds of diseases. That's why everybody is now looking for some way outlet. So then what is the solution, whether no world or a new world? The solution lies in the reformation of the education. Education can only transform the individual minds, and the individual transformation is going to lead to global transformation, which results in world peace. Such as high education in human values gives the answer. It basically answers two questions. And what is the purpose of education? What education we should impart to the young minds? And what we are going to teach? The role of the educators, teachers, parents will come here. Like any other productive process, education process has also got input, education process, and the output. Here the input is very important. The students, the children, the young minds, they have to go through this moral education. What we are going to get is the excellence, human excellence, full of values and character. So now I'll utilize the word education to reveal, to realize the purpose of education. The first letter in education stands for enlightenment. It's not enough we learn from books, teachers, professors, and computers. We have to learn from within. There's a lot of information is there within ourselves. We have to tap that information and get this enlightenment. In the past, philosophers used to say, "Yeah, man, know thyself." That's what used to be the purpose of education. Here is a figure. It is the Human Values Integrated Instruction Module. It was prepared by the International Institute of Soy Education, Thailand. Former NASA scientist, Dr. Jun Tsai, was the pioneer in devising this module. The outer one is the body. The inside three circles represent the human mind. In the center, the red one is the conscious mind. all the arrows are convergent on this conscious mind. And it is the mind where the knowledge and awareness is going to take place. So this is the one which is very important for learning process. Parents and teachers have to act as moderators to filter the various information coming from internet, television, print media on the screen of truth and make it available to the young minds, children, in a more palatable, purposeful, moralsome way. The subconscious mind, the round below, it works as a memory like any computer. Whatever you take through this conscious mind is going to settle down in the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind has also got very important role that it carries the voluntary functions like respiration, heart rate, sleep, rhythm and all. When we utilize the conscious learning properly, we are going to have contact, what the Westerners call it as super conscious mind. When you have the super conscious mind, you can ignite intuition. And most of the discoveries and inventions by these great scientists has been done, carried out, because they used a super conscious mind and they tapped the intuition. That's why the young minds, the children, have to be told how to control their mind, how to calm down their mind, how to take off the unnecessary influences from the mind. For that, various concentration techniques, our speakers are going to give a positive suggestions on these things. And I will just present a study which was conducted in various universities like Germany and California. There was a group of children where they have not used any concentration technique, their memory was only 40%. There was another group of children who have used the concentration techniques for 1 year, their memory has increased to 60%. There's another third group of children where the concentration techniques like meditation were used and the memory has increased to more significant levels like 70%. So how to focus the mind, how to concentrate the mind is also very important. Why is that the moral education has to be started at a younger age? This monograph is going to reveal to us. Suppose a child of 10 years has got a bad habit, wants to get rid of, and teachers and parents and educational institutions are going to give a positive reinforcement. It takes just 2.5 months only. It's the same thing, a 60-year-old man wanted to get rid of a habit, it will take 100 months. That is 8.5 years. So the saying, start early, drive slowly, and reach safely. The mind is the key. Here you can take the analogy of the computer. Computer, we have the CPU, we have the keyboard and the monitor. Whatever you take through the keyboard, give a program like that. We also, whatever we give to our mind, programming the mind, will get the output on the screen. Suppose we harbor our foes, inner enemies like anger, greed, pride, attachment, fear and anxiety. These bad emotions will act on our endocrine glands like pituitary, pineal and thyroid, adrenal and pancreas. And they secrete certain substances. These substances are very bad to us. They're going to act on our brain, heart, lungs and everything. And they secrete those substances like interleukin G, adrenaline. They are going to take our body worn out state and will become victims of diabetes, hypertension and depression. Finally, we'll end up with a psychiatrist. On the other hand, the young children are tuned, good education through the prompting of the teachers and parents. They develop good emotions like peace, love, purity and right conduct and violence, and their heart is full of compassion and human values. And these emotions are act on the endocrine glands, produce good substances like endorphins. And you have the endorphins, you look youthful, you young, you look shine, and there will be a good aura around. And that's how the heart of these children have to be cultivated through the proper education. If there's love, there is nothing more is required. I'll share an anecdote with you. The saint Yogananda Paramahamsa was teaching in New York. He was taking a walk in the evening. Suddenly, the three robbers with guns pointed at him and asked him, demanding money. He gave the purse, in fact, to them, but the saint was full of love. Inside, he was radiating love, and he was saying that may these three people will be full of peace and happiness. Something strange immediately happened. These three robbers put their guns down and returned the purse and left and saluting him. That's the power of the love energy the children have to cultivate in their heart. The second letter in education, D. D stands for duty and dedication. We all have a duty to perform. We have to give our best, whether it is the house, office, or in the social environment. The most important duty is to help our fellow human beings, the people who are underprivileged, who are poor, needing, and what we have to share with them. We don't have to give all our bank balance, but we can share a smile if you don't have. I have a doctor friend in California. One day, one patient walked into his clinic. She was diagnosed to be cancer. This cancer has spread to all the organs, and you know allopathy has nothing to offer. Then he suddenly said, selflessly and in a loving manner, don't worry, be happy. See, don't worry, be happy has sat in her mind. This patient went home, every day she used to say, don't worry, be happy. Her daughter got the caps made with the caption, don't worry, be happy. This patient has produced endorphin, enkephalins in her body, and then she was absolutely free of pain. You know, a cancer patient where the cancer is spread to all the organs, it's a miserable. This is one sect of patients, they invite death consciously. But this particular patient, because of her positive reinforcement, passed off her remaining life peacefully. Then the third letter in education is U. U stands for understanding. We have to understand ourselves. We have to understand our relation with our people around, and we have to understand our relation with the nature. Suppose I show you this figure. Majority will say that there's a black dot in the center. And very few people will say that there's a lot of whiteness around. And they'll say very small dot in the center. We are always used to see the fault. We are always trained to find fault with others. When we look at the newspaper, the calamities, the tragedies, the incidents attract us on the front page. And we think that there's very little good news in the world. We have to change our outlook. If I wear a green glass, if I have a brown glass, what I see is brown. There's nothing wrong in the creation. The fault lies in me, in my drusti, my vision. We have to change our looks, and we have to develop positive outlook, and this has to be taught to the children. Today's education, the modern education, made man a hypocrite. He thinks something, he talks entirely different, and he does contrary to what is the thinking and talking. Double thinking, double talking, double action. So that's not the thing. We should develop harmony of the head and heart, and thoughts, words, and actions have to be in harmony. That is what is called proper study of mankind is man. The other letter C, C stands for character. What is the use of education if the educated person doesn't possess a good character? If he is hurting people, he is taking to drugs and alcohol, we cannot call him as an educated person. Today, the state of affairs in the world is bad because of the crisis of character. We lack people who are full of love. We lack people who are selflessly serving. We lack people who are bringing about unity. There are many intelligent people, but they are selfish. They want to divide the world. So what the world today needs is not any new education or social order, any new system or any economic revolution. We need young men and women of sterling character. So the end of education is character. The other letter is A for action. Today, mostly the education is information-based. The children's mind have dumped and then bombarded with tons and tons of information. And they're converting their minds in the cupboard of books. And this information has to be used for and translated into good actions for the good of the society. Parents want the children have to get good marks. They put a lot of knowledge. They want to acquire degrees and want to be placed at higher positions. They hardly give any attention that this education has to transform a child who has to live within himself with peace and good character. So the harmony of knowledge and skill has to be utilized to balance the young minds. The other letter is thanking. We have to thank to the parents. The children have to be grateful to their mothers and the teachers who have made a difference in their lives. And they're born in the society. What they are today is because of the society. They have to give back, pay back the debt to the society. Parents, if we analyze that word, parents, when we stay in any hotel, any accommodation, we pay the accommodation fees. Here, parents, the children who are utilizing the womb of the mother, has to pay back his gratitude and reverence. He has to look after the parents. That is called parents. The next letter is integrity. The total education is fulfilled or is met when the children, students have got their full of honesty and integrity. It's an unfortunate situation. Some of the elders and parents, they say something to the children, but they don't keep up. We'll say that don't smoke, but at home we smoke. We don't believe ourselves. These words will have no power. And I've seen in our profession, some doctors, they say don't smoke, don't drink, but they do. That's why patients become better, doctors become patients. That is the paradox. So education has to be intended for transformation of the heart. The other letter in the education word is oneness. We should feel oneness with everybody. There's something very common. We are the human race, one family. The entire humanity is one family. And we also feel oneness with the nature. And the whole nature is made up of the 5 elements like space, air, fire, water, and earth. And those 5 elements also make the human body. We should know the interrelationship between the 5 elements outside and the 5 elements inside. The space outside represents in our body in the form of there's a space in bones. The air outside represents in the human body, we have a lot of air in the lungs. And the fire outside represents in the human body that the body temperature is maintained to a certain degree. If it goes down, it's hypothermia, it's very dangerous. Goes up, it's fever. And the water outside also has a component in the human body. 70% of our body is full of water, the blood, the fluid and brain, and urine and all. The earth part, which is outside, is also represented in the human body in terms of calcium, potassium, magnesium. All these metals are there in our human body. So we see that the ecological balance has to be maintained. Education should also give them a knowledge about this one, so that they will leave the planet in a better shape for the future generations. The last word is nobility. Nobility without ability is useless. Ability without nobility is dangerous. So we should have a beautiful combination of nobility and ability in the students. The student's personality should be an integrated personality with a harmonious synthesis of a good intellect, a compassionate heart full of love, and efficient hands. Keep the welfare of the society in his mind. Basically, the brain is having the values. There is a focus in the values. The great scientists like John Macleish, in his last legacy book, he has described our brain is full of values. We are driven by put the battery. We are driven by unconsciously values. We don't know that our life is being driven by values. So what the need of the hour in the educational institutions is combine the educare with the education. Education refers to the information-based education. Educare is a Latin word, refers to the human values. Educare is defined as it's a holistic interrelationship among all elements of creation, all domains of human personality, and all aspects of nature. If the education and educare is given in a proper blend to the students, will have the various aims fulfilled. Number one, this educare is given to inculcate good habits so that students become masters of their mind, not slaves of the sense organs and mind. And teachers, educational institutions, and parents have got a tripartite role. They have to be role models when they want to integrate the human values in the education. The other aim of the educare is engender in the students a desire to service to the humanity. They should keep the welfare of the society as their main objective. Students should cultivate the sense of humility. Humility is the hallmark of character and education. And the educare will awaken children to the guidance offered by the inner voice. And educare will guide all children to have a purity of thought, word, and deed. Educare will foster understanding of the 5 human values. Our speakers will dwell more on this. And this educare will give priority to the development of character, self-confidence, and self-sufficiency. There are EHV centers in more than 165 countries imparting this sort of educare. There are specific institutions, SOI institutions, in 57 institutions. 57 institutions are there all over the world, in 35 countries placed. The purpose of SOI institutions is threefold. The SOI institutions will propagate ideals of SOI education to establish character and human excellence in children. They confer teaching the teachers and educators and sending to all parts of the world. And they continually study and develop techniques, methodology, and course content and lesson plans for teaching children. This education in human values is already adopted by United Nations, UNESCO, and it is being used for water education. You're all aware there's a crisis of water availability. The human values in the hearts of the people is less, so the water in the underground is also getting dried up. So the human values have been adapted by United Nations to give the water education. Back home in India, there's one institute, Satyasai Institute of Higher Learning, has been selected by the Government of India as the model for human excellence. It imparts, it trains teachers, and then sent to the various institutes. The University Grants Commission is continuously sending teachers to this institute to acquire the educare knowledge and spread this educare knowledge to other universities. The Chancellor, Sri Satyasai, says, a student should possess 6 qualities: a good intellect, virtues, adherence to truth, devotion, discipline, duty. Anybody who has got these 6 qualities is said to be a good student, and students are supposed to learn these things. So when we have this moral education, we can expect a new world. What is this new world? New world is not a world where there is no suffering, but it's a world where man will not inflict suffering to fellow human beings. A new world is a place where man believes he can conquer darkness. New world is not a place where there is no death, but it's a place where man knows the secret of immortality. And this, the new world, man joins hands with fellow men on earth to bring down heaven on earth. In this new world, no one will be allowed to starve. No one will go without a shelter. No one will suffer without proper medical care. The children who are born into this new world will not be denied right kind of education. A new world is a place where the basic material needs are met, and the man in the new world has learned the art of living with himself, the fellow men, and with the nature. And who will make the new world? The new man has to make the new world. How this new world will come? Because of new education, moral education. This moral education will make the new man. Thank you for your attention. Now I'll give a brief introduction about the speakers. This EHV program is designed in such a way that these values have to be imported right from the stage when the child is in the womb stage. For that, I'm very happy, very pleasureful to have our Indian ambassador, His Excellency, Mr. Chandramohan Bhandari. He is going to talk on traditional and family values. He presented this paper already in an American University of Massachusetts in USA. He is going to bring out those beneficial extracts from that paper. And our next speaker will be Mrs. Suhasini. She will tell how the human values are important. It's followed by Mr. Ramesh Suryanarayan. He is from Singapore. He is going to give the importance of human values in dynamic parenting. What's the role of parents in education? This will be followed by Mr.